Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. We've got an overview and review video for you today. So I've had the privilege of putting about 10-15 hours now on this ZD1021. So at the beginning of this video, we're going to give you all the key features and point out all the key features on this unit, and then actually jump to the pros and cons that I've found over it. So with the few hours I've had to use it. So let's jump right to it. Okay, so what is a ZD1021? So in the Kubota lineup, they've got a few different models of diesel zero turns. This is kind of the entry level of it. It's still a very deluxe machine, but there is still a few models above it. So you got the 1000 series, and then you've got the 1200 series and the 1600. So again, entry level diesel, but still a fantastic unit. Within the ZD1000 lineup, you have 48, 54, and a 60-inch deck. So the ZD1011s come in either 48 or 54, and then you have what we have here today is the ZD1021, which is a 60-inch deck on it. So let's do what we always do and start at the front and work our way back with the features. So we have the ability on these diesels of making either a rigid front axle here or the flexible kind of idea. So one insertion of a pin there, I can actually make that a rigid front axle. Don't really recommend it. Why you would ever have a rigid front axle is if it's extremely rough, that you kind of want to just kind of skip over it instead of bouncing into each and every hole. So again, on a normal lawn, normal scenario, you're not going to make it rigid. The other option that will mount in here and underneath this cover here is you could have the optional maintenance jack there, so you kind of spin it up and it gives you the ability to turn that axle up and down kind of idea so that you have access to your blades under there, so we're cleaning out your decks. So on this front axle, you actually see some grease points. So you don't see that on the gas ones, on like your 200 series, 400s, 700s, but you will see them on the commercial diesels. And then you actually have tires here that take air. So the front two tires, you can replace them in the future if you want it with airless tires, but to start they do come like that. So, and again, they are fully greasable. As we move a little bit farther back and start talking about the mower deck itself, again, as I mentioned, in the 1000 series lineup, you have 48, 54, and 60-inch cuts. Again, they all have the ACS mower decks on them. They're kind of like a very efficient mower deck. They developed that, it's going on about 10 years ago now, whenever they updated this lineup. Basically, they spent a lot of time and effort making this a very efficient deck. So they changed how the baffles go in, how thick the blades are, the angle of the blades. It basically all comes out as this ACS system that makes it a very efficient mower, takes less fuel to power it, is what you're always looking for at this day and age. To remove that deck is extremely simple. It's on that 4-point system again. Taking it on and off, 2 pins at the front, 2 pins at the back, remove your shaft, and away you go. For the maintenance, again, you'll see the 2 black covers there, one on each side that you can flip up. Gives you full access to under there whenever you're looking to clean it up. And you also have right here on the operator's station there, you'll be able to flip that up and get full access into your gearbox there to see your belt and check the gearbox. So nice, easy maintenance for sure on this deck. And you'll also see on the near side here for both the front gauge wheels there, you can easily adjust the height on that. They're not fixed. You are able to adjust the height depending on what you want to see and how aggressive you want to be. Okay, so we moved around talking about the operator station. So number one, there's a lot of pedals here and stuff, so we'll go through everything here. So number one is we have hydraulic lift on this deck. So it is just a pedal here, and then it is gravity down, so you can't stop it as it goes down. It just goes right back to what your presets were for your cutting height. So, but easy, you fire it up, press that pedal, deck comes up and goes back down whenever you let off the pedal. After that, you have your park brake, so you just have your standard brake and then park brake to lock it on there. Pretty simple, and especially whenever you're going to start it, you're going to want that. After that, you have your 2 handles here. Pretty standard on a zero turn to have 2 handles, so especially whenever it comes to the Kubota lineup. They are heavy, so compared to a lot of the competition out here and a lot of the older Kubotas, what they discovered, again, whenever they're updating this lineup, and it is going on about 10 years ago, is you know, add weight to these handles and you take out a vibration point. So make them really heavy, make them really comfortable, and you got something. So that's what they did. They are fully adjustable too. You'll see some points here where if you're 6'6", you could bring these up. If you're 5'3", you can bring them down. No problem that way. After that, even underneath there's adjustments if you find them too stiff or not stiff enough for whenever you're turning, fully adjustable on that. This seat, fantastic. It is like a hug. If you get a chance and you get to go to your local Kubota dealership, try out the seats. You will see a noticeable difference as you go up into the diesels. So it is a lovely machine with a lovely seat and easily adjustable here for the suspension, depending on how heavy or light you are on that. On this side, you have your fuel gauge, so it's not just a sticker down here. It is an actual fuel gauge that you can read, and it is a live kind of idea with a temperature gauge to see if you're overheating. After that, on this side is able to adjust your cutting height. Very simplistic. It's a cog system. You'll see it on the Kubota lineup throughout. Again, you would just lift up your Kubota, lift up the mower deck, turn the dial from 4 inches down to 1 inch, depending on what you want to see, and then just let it back down, and you're good to cut. After that, you have 2 levers here. One is to rev up the engine, one is to engage your PTO so that you can turn on your mower deck. So pretty simplistic and easy to run. So let's jump around to the back and talk about the rear of this machine. There's a lot going on here. You know, I open the hood, open the access points for in underneath the operator station. You know, we'll start with the roll bar here. So again, it's folding roll bar, 2 pins, fold it down. Good to go. Again, safety-wise, you always want it up. After that, whenever you get into the access point under the seat here, again, it gives you great access into the back of the mower deck, transmissions, there's hydraulic filters under there. Again, whenever you stop at your local Kubota dealership, take a look at it. There's a lot there to see. Product specialists can run through everything on that and what you're visually seeing. But you will see some rubber pucks under there too. Again, that's to stop the vibration coming up through, because again, if it was metal on metal, you either will get a rattle or a vibration. In this case, whenever you put some rubber in between, really smoothens things out. You have a huge fuel tank in there. Again, same idea whenever you get into the diesels. It's all designed to run 8 hours wide open. You're probably going to get longer on that. These things are so efficient. You're going to get some nice big rear tires on that. The bigger the tire, the more comfort level you're going to get. That's why you see it. Whenever we move around to the back here and you see that nice little diesel engine in there, you're roughly a 20 horsepower, 3-cylinder Kubota diesel under there. So lots of power for that mower deck. Lots of access to this. It's a very simple engine. Again, it's been the base of that engine for 30 years, probably, maybe more than that, since they came out with the ZD1021. So again, pretty simplistic, really easy to get at, lots of access points. One that you always want to pay attention to is right here, is that cover there with your fluff coming off of well, whatever, you know, dandelion fluff stuff. You always want to make sure you're cleaning that off, that you don't overheat these machines. So that kind of brings us to the end of the overview. Okay, so now to the review portion. Again, I got 9.7 hours on here, so been able to use it. I enjoy diesel zero turns. Again, if I have my preference for this property, it would be a GR. Giving this a go. Some of the drawbacks, because everybody likes the everybody likes the cons more than the pros. So the cons to it, other than price point, it is a very expensive unit. After that is into the operation of it. The steering is very stiff. So if you get on a gas one, again, everything's very quick and simple and fast. Like a great example is Z400. So if you get the opportunity to go from a Z400 or a Z700 into a diesel, you'll be like, man, I'm losing something in the steering. Yes, it still turns and it's quick, but it seems very stiff, and it gets very annoying whenever you get into a corner and you're having to push harder whenever you would just want to just be able to nimbly touch it and go around. So I would imagine the reason for that is because it's for longevity. Again, this is designed to go for a very decades worth of work kind of idea for thousands of hours. So I think they make it stiffer for that reason, and that's what you're going to run into. That's my biggest drawback on that. Second is same idea as with the GR is for the costing of it, there's always a few little things that go wrong with it that you wish that it didn't, whether it comes to a safety switch or just little things where you're going in and you're like, man, for the money I paid, I wish these little things were taken care of. And that's not on the dealer. Sometimes it could be, theoretically. At the end of the day, it comes from factory. And it just a little bit more time spent on it would be a lot better as we went through the whole thing. And again, it's not like it's a long-term thing where you're going to run into an issue over and over again. It's just whenever you get it home, you're like, at first cut, you're like, man, I wish it didn't do this, is what you're going to run into. And it could be theoretically for any issue, for any machine or vehicle that you ever purchase. So that's really my two cons, is small little things that kind of creep up that you wish they weren't there, and then the bigger issue is the steering being so stiff. So moving on to the positives of it, I love using zero turns. So the quickness of it, the sound, again, is it's a lot quieter, especially whenever it's covered in engine and everything like that. It's going to be a lot quieter than what you're going to see on a gas one. Again, fuel efficiency is fantastic. You know, whenever I can cut for, you know, like 5-6 hours, so you know, that's a couple of cuts, and you know, and not have to worry about even looking at my fuel gauge. So it's great. Again, because you get a gas one out here with the, you know, 25 horsepower, it guzzles it. So diesel is awesome that way. And just the seat, your comfort level is through the roof on one of these. So so a couple of small negatives and a lot of big positives out of one of these units. So all right, so that brings the end of today's video. Hope you enjoyed learning a lot about this unit itself, and a little bit of a review of it over 10 hours spent on the seat. Again, if you're looking to see this in action, we just actually filmed a video using this, going up and down hills and stuff, and the capabilities of it that way. So if you enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe. If you have any comments, please down below. Thank you.